All right. Good morning, everybody. And I thought I'd hop on here real quickly and talk about dynamic creative. One of the things about digital advertising is if your ad is not capturing the attention of your target audience, its effectiveness is not going to be very good. So you've got to get their attention. And oftentimes we don't have time as marketers and small businesses to create individualized creative for each target audience. It's just sometimes not feasible. Now, some larger marketing firms and some larger businesses and brands, they have staffs that can do that. And right now, during the tumultuous times that we're in, those resources are limited. So it even puts a further need and value to understanding what dynamic creative is as it relates to Facebook and Instagram. So basically, I'm going to give you a quick overview of what we're doing here, and I think it'll make a lot of sense when I share my screen. So what I'd like to do is pull in my screen right now, and let me see if I can flip it like that. I don't know if you can see that or how. Let me see if I can get it a little bigger. All right. So basically, we're going to use an example for a client that we're working with currently. And basically what you're looking at here is the inside the business manager of the Facebook ad tool. So inside here, I've chosen to create a traffic campaign that is using dynamic creative. And what I want to show you, this is a very involved process, but what I want to give you is a basic overview. And over here is kind of the, let me see if I can reduce this. This is kind of hard. There we go. What you have here is the preview of what the dynamic creative looks like once we go through it. So what you want to basically do is load up as many creatives as you can. So up to 10. On the video side, I think you can add up to 5. So you want to put that creative in here. Put some of your best, maybe it's some of your best engaged posts on Instagram. Maybe it's some Facebook stuff that's gotten huge engagement. But definitely put your best, most engaged content in this bucket. From there, we're going to move down to allowing optimization to be creative for each person. So basically, the system is going to take all of the content that you've put in here, and it's going to scramble it, and it's going to distribute it, and then it's going to make decisions based on what they think which creative combination will do best to the audiences that you've released it to. From here, we're going to have primary text. So the primary text is actually, if you look off to the right, it's the text that you'll see here. Let me just make sure I'm talking to you the right way. So primary text is here. That's correct. Okay, so forgive me. So the primary text is here, and we want to have as many as we can put in here. And this is a skill, like writing copy for these things, because the more that you do it, the more you realize that longer form oftentimes works better. So a lot of times when we're building ads, we want to keep it tight. We want to keep it on brand. But there is opportunity also to get longer with that copy, and that trick to writing that copy is just based on experience and testing, quite honestly. So once you added all of this copy, now we've got some headlines, and the headline is here and actually translates down here on the ad. So you can see that as we go through different variations, and we can do that when we go to more variations, we can see how and where that will populate. So new Gulf rates, book direct, etc. So again, headlines are important. Do some research on it, use some experience, but definitely when we're doing this, our goal is call to action. So we're really focused on, yes, we want pretty pictures, and yes, we want copy to be informative, but at the end of the day, we want them to kind of flow into the contact us or the book now button or whatever the button is we're using. And I'll show you how we have multiples of that as well. Then we have the description. We can have as many as 5. Again, obviously use as many as you can, and then that would just appear right here. And based on the display, whether it's stories or in a Facebook feed, will depend on whether or not that description actually is shown. But it's always good to have those options in there. Then you want to have the URL that you want all this traffic to funnel. So you've got to put that in there. building parameters, we highly recommend. I'm not going to do it for this demonstration, but that allows you to track how many people went to this website link from this ad. And if you fill that out on your analytics on the back end, you'll be able to specifically see that this ad in particular, and you can even trace it back to what ad combination generated the most revenue, or in this case, T times booked. The last one is call to action. So we've got 3 here, but we could add more. We could add as many as are relevant to what we're trying to accomplish. Studies have shown, and my research has validated, that learn more is by far the best, even in a book now situation. But for golf, it doesn't make sense in my mind not to have book now when essentially that's what we want them to do. So we just add the other 2 just to give the logarithm or the AI some more information to work with. But essentially that's that. Okay, so once we've got all that done, we go to publish it, and and that's essentially how we create a dynamic ad. Now, one thing I did not share, which let's bring that back, Brian, not so fast, is over here. And let's look at the variations. Once you have your final product done, we'll go to more variations. What you see here is you can now look at your 5, what I call the post copy, which is up in here. You can select your images that you've inserted. So you've got your multiple images here, and those actually should have been named, but I was building this quickly to show you guys. Your headlines. So you got some headlines here that will rotate, and then your call to action buttons, and you can build that combination. So let's do my favorite combination. And let's see. I like the island, that one, and I like this one. And you'll notice when the way that I write that copy, whereas the first line is the catch, but then there's a learn more button, which is another call to action. If that wasn't there, if there wasn't a continuation of copy, that wouldn't be there, which would mean there'd be one less button essentially on this page. But if you see it, so here's the combination. Let's and it's crazy. We think that we know what our customers like, but the dynamic allows for it. And the more variations that we can have of these ads, the better we're going to be able to assure that it's going to work, especially when you have the need to scale. So as your audiences get bigger and bigger, the number of variations of creative becomes necessary. So quick overview of dynamic creative. Hope it made sense. If it doesn't, reach out to me. I'll answer any questions you got. Have a nice day.